What a day, hey? I've been making some notes to kind of reflect on bits. I've seen people writing pages and pages of notes, actually. So this probably won't, because I've been concentrating on logistics and things as well, but I just thought I'd reflect a little bit on what we've heard from today. And I think it's reminded me about the importance of connection with our teams and our colleagues in a real and authentic way, and giving people our time and how valuable that is. Janet, it feels like ages ago when we sat on the stage this morning. There's just been so much to think about. But I think the thing from me was about how Timpsons really take time for their people, and their people and what their people need is at the heart of their organisation. And if we can do that a little bit more in the NHS, we will be moving forward. Paul told us about choosing our reality, and I remember that video, that lovely video of the contagious nature of sort of passing on positivity and laughter. Anna reminded me about sort of sharing what matters to us, and that idea of introducing ourselves by our values and not by our titles, and about how we can think about the opportunities to connect with our colleagues more. Mo made us laugh, didn't he? We laughed a lot in that session. And he's really gone through an incredibly difficult time. And that was a real skill. We had Dr. Glockenflecken, have I said that right? Who we talked about humour and how humour sort of gives us power when things are difficult. And he really used that. And he was incredibly optimistic. I think if everybody could take a little bit of that away, then we will be doing well. Rana talked about how we communicate with patients, and she said that the point where she didn't feel that she was being healed until she was really being heard and connected with, and that's the thing that I will take away about connecting with patients. Ziauddin, we couldn't stop talking, but his message for me was about being more brave and more courageous, and that whole point that Bob just said now about it might be difficult to have those conversations, but it's actually more difficult not to, and we need to not walk by things. Mike, again, I've heard his TED Talk actually, but it was still good to hear about the difference between recognition and appreciation, and understanding that we need to appreciate everybody, even those people we may not find so easy to work with. They have a role, they have different skills, actually, that is beneficial. And then, Bob, the point about it starting with kindness, and actually we need to stop apologising for thinking about this more. This is really important, and it is fundamental to how we work. I'm going to say some thank yous, if that's all right, because the people I didn't mention are sitting just there, who gave us that wonderful moment of inspiration. So Rosanna and Lachlan, they're still here. They've come and listened, actually, to the session. So shall we just give them another round of applause? Because that was really, really special for us.
They're not in costume anymore, which is disappointing. Yeah, understandable.
Yeah. We need to do thank yous now. So thank you, lovely tech team up there. You've made it brilliantly. It's worked so well. The microphones have come on. Just everything. That's just made things so much easier. The Health Innovation West Midlands team, thank you for all you've done to help run the event. To Sarah, to Laura, who's always there, sort of knows what I'm thinking, just as amazing. Nikki from Capfinity, so thank you for being part of this and for sharing your strengths profiles. We'll send that round, and we'll look forward to further conversations and think about how we can connect more. Thank you to all of our speakers. They have been brilliant, haven't they? We've just enjoyed the best day. So maybe one more round of applause for those of them who are still here. Yeah. Next on my list was Chris and Adrian. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
I think Chris. Why don't we get Chris up just to give us some of his wisdom as well?
Always good to hear from Chris. You should never be allowed to be muted. Don't know where that came from. This is my list. I'm like good doing it on the phone, making notes on the phone. Those are my thank yous.
Yeah. What she said.
So I have one final thought, and it's about how it feels to be deeply embedded in really caring about what we do and creating better cultures, whether it's through kindness, civility, learning from excellence. Sometimes it feels like you are digging this hole. You dig a hole and you dig a hole and you dig a hole, you get deeper and deeper. You know this is an important hole. You're digging it and digging it and digging it. But you're down a hole. Then every so often there comes a day when instead of digging a hole, somebody puts a drone somewhere out there in the desert and lift the drone up. And you realize how many holes there are all around the place. All these wonderful people digging their wonderful holes. And you begin to understand how important this is to so many people. And days like this really make that happen. So thank you all so very, very much.
He's so wise, isn't he? And the last thank you was going to be to everybody here, but you've just said it much more eloquently, Chris. Thank you so much for coming and for being part of it. Thank you to everybody who's joined us online. Until next time, hey? Hopefully it won't be another... It was 4 years, wasn't it, I think? But yes, we'll do something sooner than that. So thank you very, very much for coming and sharing this day with us.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you, Emma.
So drinks.